Marc Snuffy and his Ubers team, can we recreate it in a game? I've analyzed Ubers versus Bastard play-by-play to accurately clone their tactics in eFootball. We will first choose an appropriate team play style similar real-life players, how to clone Ubers tactics, and finally test the team in online division. Let's go! Let's go through this team playstyle analysis template and choose one from the 5 playstyles. Ubers made a whooping 60 short passes and only 2 long passes in the whole game. So I've eliminated long ball and long ball counter. Ubers were capable of both playing slowly and making quick counterattacks, but most of the time, they attacked by sending numbers forward immediately. They never attacked on the wings, and their defensive strategy was very flexible. Sometimes they pressed high, and sometimes they sat deep. So I think quick counter is the most suitable playstyle. It focuses on short pass counterattacking without using the full width of the pitch, and can press high or defend deep depending on the attacking level. Snuffy deployed 2 keepers during the match, Canali and Jenny. But guess what? None of them made a single save. Yeah, just use whatever keeper you like. For the left center back Aryu and the right center back Iku, I'm going to make the same player choices as in my Blue Lock and U20 videos. Aryu showcased his insane jump and reach during the Ubers game, and he played like a destroyer who relied on hard tackling and pressing. So I picked Rudiger as Aryu again. Iku further evolved his defensive awareness by acquiring metavision, and now he's even better at predicting attackers' movements, so I will use Virgil van Dijk as Iku again. The middle center back, Lorenzo, has an extremely unique profile. He has a skill called zombie dribbling, which allows him to dribble past players from the back and participate in attacks even in the attacking third. His skill set allows him to play as a libero, a role with more fluid positioning, typically played by someone with good vision and comfort on the ball. Snuffy had a special design for Lorenzo and Nico's positions, which I'll further explore in the tactics section. In eFootball, I decided to use Beckenbauer as Lorenzo, because he was also known for being an exceptional libero and had great technique, even as a center back. Abdi and Rico were the wing backs. They were involved in many defensive scenes as part of a back 5. When Snuffy was subbed in, they moved to the full back position, so I chose 2 players who can play both as wing backs and fullbacks. Inter Milan's wingback duo, DeMarco and Dumfries. Nico played as the defensive midfielder, and I think this role suited him incredibly well as he developed his metavision, both in defense and in spotting teammates for quick one-touch passes. During Ubers attacks, Snuffy instructed Nico to rotate with Lorenzo. When Lorenzo moved forward to join the attack, Nico would temporarily drop into the center back role. Doesn't that sound familiar? It really resembles Inzaghi's rotations. That's why I chose Çalhanoğlu to play as Nico. Both played as the defensive midfielder in a back 3 system. Nico also played as an attacking midfielder when Snuffy was subbed in. And interestingly, Çalhanoğlu also played as an AMF when he was at AC Milan. Drago and Perron were the central midfielders, playing on the side of their dominant foot. Unlike other NPC players, they were heavily involved in Uber's build-up play through one-touch passing. Their defensive work rate was also high, so I picked a box-to-box midfielder for each, Rabiot, who's left-footed, and Valverde, who's right-footed. Both are very well-rounded midfielders. Last time I picked Lautaro as Sendo, because he was able to play both as a lone center forward and as a second striker. In this game, Sendo showed the same qualities, acting as a decoy for the forward, making passes behind the forward, and contributing heavily in defense. So I'm going to pick Lautaro again, because at Inter he also plays a deep-lying forward role, absorbing the opponent's pressure, opening up space for his teammates, and working hard defensively. I ran a poll asking my audience to guess which real player I would choose to represent Barreau. Did you get it right? Barreau was the main finishing outlet, and nearly every tactic was designed to get him to score. He played as a complete forward, challenging the offside line and making one-touch passes during build-up. I thought Gyökeres had a very similar profile to Barreau, strong, fast, with great shooting and kicking power. Ronaldo was also a close match, but when I rewatched the Ubers match, I felt that the goal poacher playstyle wouldn't perfectly replicate Barreau's role. A goal poacher typically plays off the shoulder of the last defender, while Barreau's positioning wasn't always that high. There were many moments where he stayed behind other attackers to finish chances from outside the box. That's why I eventually decided to use a fox in the box, one who often makes forward runs but doesn't always sit on the last line of defense. So I picked Batistuta, who is known for his strong kicking power, resembling the 2 long-range goals Barreau scored in the match. But of course, Gyökeres and Ronaldo are both very good options too. The star coach, Marc Snuffy, was nominally positioned as a defensive midfielder when he came on, but his role was much more advanced. He quickly became a commander on the pitch, using his ball control, tactical mindset, and well-timed passes to influence the game. I decided to use Johan Cruyff to represent Snuffy. Even though Cruyff wasn't as tall, both he and Snuffy had excellent dribbling skills and incredibly high football intelligence. We can see that from Cruyff's success both as a player and as a manager. Plus, wouldn't it be nice to have Der Kaiser and Cruyff on the same team? Here's the full squad, the instructions, and the table of players. I've summarized Ubers' tactics into 3 modes that we can try to replicate in eFootball. The first 2 modes use the same 3-5-1-1 formation, while the third uses a 4-5-1. The first mode is the defensive mode. Ubers maintained a low defensive line and kept their shape compact by minimizing the space between the lines. Even Kaiser was frustrated by the number of defenders. When Ubers regained possession, they didn't immediately launch the ball forward. They recycled possession at the back, with a clear priority on not losing the ball. In eFootball, we can recreate this mode by switching to Defensive Level 1. This lowers the team's defensive line even in quick counter. It also brings one forward back into defense, allowing us to replicate Sendo's high defensive work rate. It gives us safer passing options at the back when trying to maintain possession. The second mode is the attacking mode. Snuffy implemented 2 key tactical designs during this phase. The first was hybrid pressing, which combines passive zonal defending with proactive man-to-man pressing. Typically, the team allows the opponent to build up comfortably until they're led into a trap, at which point the press becomes aggressive. Ubers used this tactic when Isagi received the ball. Suddenly, all the midfielders applied pressure and quickly regained possession. In eFootball, we can replicate this by switching to balanced or attacking level 1, then triggering the press once we have players surrounding the opponent. The second design was the CBDMF rotation. In defense, Lorenzo played as a center back while Nico remained in midfield. But in attack, Lorenzo pushed up to participate in the build-up, and Nico dropped back to cover in defense. This rotation closely resembles the attacking center-back system used by Simone Inzaghi's Inter Milan. In eFootball, since there's no deep line instruction for attackers, we can assign attacking to the CB and defensive to the DMF. This allows the CB to join the attack while keeping the DMF in a safer position. The third mode was ultra-attacking. When Snuffy subbed in for Sendo, the formation shifted to a 4-1-1-3-1. Although the formation showed Snuffy as a DMF, he actually played very high up the pitch, dictating the attack in the final third. In this ultra-attacking mode, everyone except the defenders pressed extremely high. When in possession, the team attempted constant one-touch passes to launch quick attacks. The 2 box-to-box midfielders stayed wide as additional passing options, creating space for the 4 central attackers. In eFootball, I adjusted the positions of Nico, Lorenzo, and Snuffy based on their position familiarity. You can use balanced or attacking level 1 in gameplay and focus on quick passing and high pressing. No matter which mode they were using, Ubers' main priority was to let Baru score. They either played passes behind him, waiting for a well-timed through ball towards goal, or had the CMFs and Sendo make forward runs so that Baru could arrive from behind and take a long shot. Now let's try these strategies online and see if I can actually win.
Soundtrack. The pre-match build-up has been fantastic. Now, the game itself. If you're just joining us, we are already on the way. Whatever happens, that's a mighty effort. Passing is crisp and sharp. Martinez. That's a major catch. Back in the game, though his demeanour could barely be more modest. He really is every bit the anti-Galactico. Yeah, and you wouldn't think that he's counter-attack, but it's a long counter-attack. When they go back, they're not wasting any time. They're just trying to get the runners away as quickly as possible. And it's Vieira. That is a great pick out. Nice 6
Wow.
Well, I wouldn't quite advise they should resort to risk-taking at this stage. There's plenty of time left yet. He's shifting through the gears here. Works it forward. Good start, he's seen the run. And the finish! Snake. That's Luis Suarez. Decent hit! Knight gets over and intercepts. Martinez. Approaching half-time and still behind. Can they make something happen now? Valverde tries a shot! Can he finish? Kicks out Granada finish! It's loose now and they want to get it back. Linked to tries a header! Great ball and he's in here. Beckenbauer did well to stay calm. Has a goal! Now who's going to be first to this? Peter, particularly from those guys up front. Yeah, and it just, I suppose, denies the others time and space. They've got it again. Welcomes it in. And that is Luton! It's loose and there's a race for the ball. Well, he certainly keep calm and carry on. That's the job in a nutshell now. It is looking like the end. If anything's going to happen, it's got to happen now. Look, their path is set. They have to take risks in every situation now. In with a header! They've scored! We have ourselves a real game here. Well, that goal just serves the picture. Ball. Great hit. Great chance! It's a goal! Two to the good! They have breathing space! Number 9. And that will be the final act. Performance of kind and history shows that he is all of those things. Yeah, we can testify to that, having covered quite a few of those games where he showed the very best qualities. Yeah, being very stylish, expansive, to watch the balls in the team. As long as they go down and Rabiot and Martinez. And it's Rabiot. Two goals on the day, and he may not yet be done. Rodrigo! Greece attempts a clearance, and now they can spring out of defence. Beckenbauer, player of legendary status. Martinez. Marc Valverde. Case now of complete control. Oh, good ball. It nicked away, and he's picked out the run. Great shot! That's
Wow.
another shot. Now it's a race for the ball. Nice interception, well timed. Just Greece. Valverde. Getting close. Oh, what a mistake! Looking for the runner. Valverde. He's through. That was just poor decision-making and a weak execution. It's Ramos. Who's going to get there? And again! It's gone! Beckenbauer calmly anticipates. So that's it.
Thank you for watching. What do you think about this Ubers tactics in eFootball? Check out the video here for more Blue Lock Tactics content.